Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the SITREP. If you are a veteran who has submitted a claim for VA disability and it was denied, there are options that are available for you through the Board of Veterans Appeals. And Mike is here to explain what your options are, and not only that, but how he went about his own way of winning his appeal with the board.
Hey, thanks, Paul. If you dispute a decision VA made on your claim, you have the right to file an appeal with the Board of Veterans Appeals. You can request a board appeal after an initial claim, a supplemental claim, or a higher-level review decision. You have 1 year from the date on your decision letter to request a board appeal. However, you can't request 2 board appeals in a row for the same claim. So, a board appeal has 3 options. Option 1, request a direct review. If you choose the direct review option, a veterans law judge will review your appeal based on evidence already submitted. You cannot submit additional evidence, and you can't have a hearing. Option 2, submit more evidence. If you choose the evidence submission option, you can submit more evidence for a veterans law judge to review. You must submit this evidence within 90 days of the date VA receives your request for a board appeal. This is your opportunity to gather additional evidence to support your claim, such as civilian medical records, buddy statements, and anything you feel will support that claim. Option 3. Request a hearing. If you request a hearing with a veterans law judge, you can choose to add new and relevant evidence either at the hearing or within 90 days after the hearing. Adding evidence is optional, but once again, you should gather and submit anything you feel will strengthen your appeal. Your hearing will be transcribed and added to your appeal file. You can choose from 3 different ways to speak with the veterans law judge. First is a virtual hearing from your home. Second is a video conference hearing at a VA location near you. And third is an in-person hearing at the board in Washington, D.C. Each of these options takes around a year to complete. There are different ways to file your appeal. You can mail it, fax it, and now you can even file an appeal online. This is great news for veterans or their representatives. It's easy. Just log on to va.gov and search Board Appeals. You can then click on Request a Board Appeal to electronically file VA Form 10182 and start your appeal process. For more information and a link to VA Form 10182, check out the video description below. As Paul spoke about earlier, I filed an appeal for a decision on my disability claim for sleep apnea. I went with option 3, request a hearing. I wanted the ability to speak with the judge and present my case. First, I gathered additional evidence in the form of buddy statements from individuals with whom I served and remembered me suffering from symptoms of sleep apnea. I also gathered medical records from a civilian doctor I had seen. I submitted this evidence to the board. Periodically, I would receive a letter from the VA telling me my appeal was active and in the queue to be heard. After about a year, I received word from my local VBA office of my date and time for the hearing. On the day, I went to the VBA office and was placed in a room with a video conference system. At the appointed time, the judge came on the conference. He asked me some questions concerning my additional evidence and if I was receiving treatment for my condition at a local VA medical facility. That was basically it. It was short and sweet. A few weeks later, I received a letter informing me that I had won my appeal and what my new VA disability rating was. The critical piece was the additional evidence. Remember, the more credible evidence you can present, the easier it is to win your appeal.
You have questions about your VA benefits, and the SITREP has the answers. Visit any of our 4 YouTube playlists that specifically cover VA healthcare, VA disability, VA home loans, and specialty topics. Choose from any of our playlists and connect with the benefits you earned and deserve.